Oh, where do I begin? I don't know. I mean, we kind of have similar stories, like similar past, not the same, but very similar. Like, I definitely was not an athlete growing up. I didn't do hardly anything like athletic at all. I was a complete bookworm nerd for sure. But like, I mean, that's kind of where my story kind of begins because I was going, I graduated college, and I was frat daddy for sure. Your boy partied like frat daddy, right? Went to college, graduated, and then didn't really know what I wanted to do. I studied engineering just because everybody like told me that's what I should study, right? Because like that's how you be successful in life. You get a good job and you make 9 to 5 and buy a house, have kids, whatever.
Safe job with benefits
like,
and
that really never like stuck out for me. I don't know. I just never really jived with that. But anyways, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I went to graduate school to like basically figure it out. And went to graduate school, hated it. It was not for me, and was also still doing the same crazy stuff, like still partying, still doing a lot of stuff, like wasn't healthy at all. I think I was like at one point I got up like 200 pounds, like super. I mean, I'm 5'7", 5'8", right? Like I'm not a big person, and so like it was not a good 200 pounds. Like it was like hey, we're drinking Mountain Dew and eating pizza and drinking beer all the time. So it's like and I found and during grad school I found CrossFit. So like that's where I met Doug Larson, Mike Bledsoe, and the guys who started Barbell Shrugged podcast, which is why like this is funny because it's going full circle. So like,
bro, first of all, like this was probably like 2013 me. Like, again, I was like deep in the CrossFit sauce and like, here I am, present day bodybuilder and stuff. But it's like, I remember being like, oh my God, Barbell Shrugged. So again, the full circle thing of like, how fucking cool.
So I started, I was just basically like a gym rat. And then I hung around the gym and I became friends with like Doug and all them. And they asked me to like, hey, I got really into Olympic weightlifting actually. So I started competing in Olympic weightlifting, and they asked me like, hey, do you want to work in the fitness industry? Do you want to like coach because they had started like training programs, and they had actually got a lot of success with that, and they needed some coaching. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to do that, but I mean, sure. Yeah. And then I remember telling my mom, and she was like, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Like, you're going to drop out of school to do this? And I'm like, yeah, like, cause I hate it. I remember, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was like, I had spent like 2 years writing this paper, and then my professor like basically published it and like just totally rewrote it. And I'm like, this is it, I'm done. And I wrote an article on like Olympic weightlifting and nutrition or whatever. And it was like 100,000 people like saw it or something like that. And I'm like, I'm done. Cause that publication, I think I go back and look at it. I think maybe like 5 people have cited it. I don't know. So like,
amazing.
Yeah. So like, I realized like the impact I can make in the fitness industry was a lot better. And I feel I don't know, something driven within me. I'm just like kind of a natural like coach, teacher. I like to help people, right? Like just same with you. Like, I like to help people make an impact, help people change their lives. And I got to do a lot of that when I was working with Shrugged as a coach, which I started back in like 2014. So it's almost been like, 10 years or so. And then, I end up leaving Shrugged around the same time where I met you, actually. So like I left Shrugged in 2017, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I was already like coaching people like one-on-one with nutrition, and also doing some weightlifting coaching at the time. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this. It was scary as hell, but like, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but that's kind of how it rolls. And then I remember, because I used to host the podcast, I co-hosted for a little while. And I remember that's where I met Jason Phillips, who was the founder of IN3 and also NCI. And so, I still kind of had connection with him, and then I talked to him, and he invited me to come to NCI, like in Las Vegas. And that's where I met you. And then I just remember like, this girl was like, she was like dropping all the knowledge in the seminar. Like, yeah, like Jason was talking and doing stuff, and we were talking about nutrition, but Laurie was like the queen, like just dropping all this knowledge. And I was super, super impressed by like how like she knew all this stuff and then could like also convey it in a way where it's like this like very, very, very intelligently, right? And then so I was like, man, like I think I want to hire her as like a coach, right? Because I knew you were coaching too. So I wanted to hire you because I wanted to learn from you, but like how to also coach better. And then, where can I get this information? Because I think the best way to like, if you're a coach, like to be a better coach is also to coach people, but also to learn from really good coaches, right? Like get mentored by like really awesome coaches. So, yeah. And then we just became friends, right? Like,